Okay, students, look at this word, depreciation. This is the next thing we're going to look at. Depreciation is how much or what's the amount of the fixed asset. Fixed asset means what? I have a car, I have a motorbike, I have a building. The value of the asset will drop every year. So that's what we call depreciation. So the calculation to get depreciation has three ways. One is called the straight line method, and this is the formulas that is involved in the calculation. Okay, let me apply this into a simple question. Okay, Prof. John bought a Merc for 500,000. Okay, the car is expected to have a 10 years life. The salvage value at the end of 10 years is 100,000. Salvage value is another word for scrap value. So A, they want me to find annual depreciation. So in order for me to get what is the annual depreciation, you can see the first formula. I take the cost, which is 500,000, minus of the salvage value, which is 100,000, and I divide by the useful life, which is given here clearly to you, my dear students. So when I do this, I get 40,000. You can press the calculator for this. You get 40,000. Simple calculation. Now let's go for the next one. I'm going to calculate B, annual rate of depreciation. So next is looking at annual rate. Now how do I get the annual rate? The annual rate is given by annual depreciation. You can see it very clearly. I remove this for you. This is the annual depreciation divided by total depreciation. Why is the total depreciation? This is what we call the total depreciation. The cost minus of the salvage value will give us the total depreciation. So in this case, annual depreciation was 40,000. Total depreciation is 500,000 minus 100,000, and I times with 100 because I am looking for rate. So a rate you must times with 100 because you're going to get the answer in percentage. So when you press the calculator for this, you get 10%. This is how I calculate my annual rate. Okay, now let's go for C. I'm planning to find the book value. Now how do I find the book value? Okay, the best part of this straight line method is the depreciation annual is going to be same every year. There is no change in the depreciation. So the book value here would be, I take the cost, I minus off the accumulated depreciation, meaning the cost was 500,000. Okay, the accumulated depreciation should be per year 40,000, my mistake, times by 4. So you're going to get 160,000 minus of 500,000. The book value would be 340,000. This is how we calculate the book value. Okay, what is the next thing that I need to know? How to construct a schedule. So to construct a schedule, this is what we need. This is how the schedule looks like. Depreciation, the first one, followed by accumulated depreciation. Lastly, the net book value. Okay, so let me start off with the first one. This is under the straight line method, correct students? Under the straight line method, I have one test thing that was going to save my life. The depreciation for every year is going to be the same, students. I don't have to think so much because under the straight line method, the depreciation is going to be the same. Now, how do I find accumulated? The first year, it is 40,000. The following year, this is what I do. I take 40 and I plus with the 40 here, which is going to give me 80,000. So this is 80,000. And I do the same thing. I plus, which is going to give me 120,000. And I do the same thing for the whole thing here until I get for the 5 years, because they want me to do it for 5 years. So I did it for the 5 years. Okay, how do I get the net book value? net book value is cost minus accumulated depreciation. Meaning the cost was 500,000 minus of accumulated depreciation on the first year 40,000. So we are going to get 460,000. I do the same thing. 500,000 minus accumulated depreciation for the second year was 80,000. So you minus this off, you are going to get 420,000. And the same thing I do for the whole thing. Minus of 80,000. Accumulated was 120,000. So I minus this off. When you do that, you're going to get 380,000. Or you can do this in another way if you press the calculator. If you're not sure, 500,000 minus 120,000, 380,000. Okay, take this, same thing, 500,000 minus accumulated, you got 340,000. Same thing, 500 minus 200,000, you get 300,000. Okay, this is how the calculation for depreciation using the straight line method works. Alright, got that?